getting the last minutes of the Maxudlu with the black pieces. Okay, and in 4 moves, they should be actually getting the half an hour extra, right? On their clocks and all. Okay, so here we are, guys. Multi-stream. Yeah, should be fine, is it? We should be multi-streaming. Let me actually double check a bit on YouTube. And boy, I have to fix that curtain again. How do I check? Oh, okay. Am I live? View the channel. Oh yeah, that should be absolutely fine. Round number 6, this and that, Budapest, Olympiad, this and that. Cool. Okay, we're live. Okay. So, Black's turn to do things here. Let me look at the pieces first thing first. 2 rooks, 3 minors. 2 rooks, 3 minor pieces. Queen, queen. Maxudlo now offers the black queen for an exchange. Should you accept? And if you don't accept, what exactly you're supposed to be playing? Let's see if you actually do take the queen. Queen takes, bishop takes here. Okay. If you refuse the trade, where exactly you're supposed to be moving the queen though? Okay. So guys, this is live, the last minutes of the round number 6 of Budapest Chess Olympiad. And of course, Magnus plays for the national team of Norway. And yeah, so there was queen takes, bishop takes, of course. Definitely. And I have to fix the curtains now. Hey, Simpson. Yeah, I'm doing pro bono publico, right? That's how we said about this stream. So I'm back from the club. I had a club today, and I've returned, opened the can, one of those drinks, you know, and that's it. So let's try and make some sense. Let's try and see some meaning here. But let me fix the curtain though, because it looks really weird. So more trading offered by white. So bishop captures, knight takes back. Oh, and then you might be able to play knight f5. And that will be prompting more trades. Let me look at the bonds. 246, 426. Now you have to take, right? Because you have to take. You're kind of forced. Do you need to take with the knight, though, or with the rook? Well, that's a good question. We can debate on that. Okay, let me fix the curtain because getting crazy now. Okay, let's just keep it like this for now. I don't know. I can't get that sun in my face. Right. I guess that might be a bit better. Probably. All right. Whoa, whoa, fellas. Okay. Here, right? So he took with the rook. He didn't take with the knight. That means, I think, Simpson, that white wants to vacate the f6 and then places the knight here for a check, forking king and rook. So I guess Magnus's plan, just to mention, probably he wants to move the white rook somewhere. And I guess that somewhere could be, let's put the red paint, h6. h6 for 2 big reasons. It does do attack the black pawn, but also prepares knight f6 check and take very much for the rook. So it might be very well one of the intentions of Magnus. And just one move, and now, guys, we are going to get the half an hour extra. Hey, since when is the evaluation gauge on? I think from yesterday. And because I haven't used Liren since yesterday, so let me take it off now. Boom! It disappeared. Oh no, we're just humans now. We no longer have the software. Oh no. What do we do? Do we resign now? Okay, so Maksudlu pushes c6 to c5. So let's see what he want to do. Well, he wants to take a pawn, and he wants to do more trades, and he wants to push that guy down the board as soon as this trades took place already. So should White be taking or not? Magnus needs to decide that one in 50 seconds. And he has to be very, very careful about this one. So, did he take, or was that just a mouse slip? No, he didn't. So, guys, would you take or not? Would you take or not? Now, if you take, yeah, is black going to take back, or is he going to push the pawn? Probably you have to take back, right? No, he pushed the pawn. Okay, rook being hit now. You have to move rook again. Where? Well, that's a good question. You go e4, you go d3. Is there any difference? Well, it certainly is. If you go e4, there is also this knight being moved c5, and then they're going to be attacking your e4. If you go d3, the same fate. Well, luckily, you could take then on d4. If rook takes, knight takes back. I guess you can play this. So let's put it again. E or d. Knight takes, hits the rook, but then you have double attack on d4. So rook d3 he opted for. Now, I guess knight c5, right? Unless you got something else better for black to play. So knight takes c5, attacks the white rook, and white rook then captures. Rook takes, knight takes. That's what is. That's what is. So what do you think about this one, guys? So, good to see you, friends. My Twitch, my TikTok, my YouTube friends, Facebook and Kick.com. I think these are the platforms. Move number 41. So I guess we should be seeing 30 minutes being added to both players. Let me refresh the page. Well, it should be, because room 41, right? Looks like they play the Karo Khan defense. Yeah, we can get through the game at some point. But now I'm curious. What is he going to play? What is Maksudlu going to do? Playing for Iran. So today we've got Iran versus Norway and India versus Hungary. Hey, Prague and Peter Lecker, we gotta have a quick look here. You know, Peter Lecker, the famous streamer, and Pragnananda, the very famous Super Grandmaster. He's beaten Magnus twice, I think. So, okay, these guys are on move 41 now. As soon as white plays something, they're going to be move 41. So, probably half an hour for these guys as well. So, what is Prague supposed to be doing here? You're going to push the pawn, you're going to take, you're going to play the knight. Well, you can't go here because you're going to lose the pawn. So, you got to go this way, right? Okay, let's see. What else is here? Any other big... Now, if you push the pawn, you know what's the funny thing? The black knight goes on to c5. And it kind of like you allow that knight to play into your half territory. So probably you should be postponing to pushing the pawn. Maybe you should be playing knight to g4. Prague here. We'll see. Prague is on 1 minute 14 seconds apparently. That's what it shows on my screen. Probably on your screen as well. So knight g4. Knight g4. You're defending this pawn 4 times. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. So that should be okay. Knight g4. I guess so. I guess knight g4. And 2 live games. We've got Arjun playing with Sanan. I think that's probably you pronounce it. And Vidit plays Benjamin. So those games still take place. And of course, Magnus with Maksudlu. And we're gonna go now to that game again, back. So, what is Max Ludlow doing here? What is he doing? Well, he's thinking, that's for sure. Okay, he's thinking. So, what are the options here? Apart from knight c5, is there something better? I mean, you want to play knight c6 or something? If you play knight c6, if you play... Okay, so I think it's two candidate moves here, guys. Knight c5 or knight c6. You do knight c6 and you defend this guy 3 times for now, so you should be able to take that pawn without losing the d4. Knight c6 also sort of attacks this pawn. Well, it does attack it, not sort of. For certain, it attacks it. So the white knight sort of has to stay there, protecting the pawn, I guess. And then maybe black wants to capture c5, perhaps. So two big things here, knight c5 or knight c6. Which one is it? Do you play an in between? Do you play knight c6 and then you go knight c5? Or the other way around? You go knight c5 and then you probably go for knight c6. We'll find out very soon. Find out very soon. Feel free, guys, to type in your candidate move or candidate moves, you know. And yeah, that's cool. Let's see now which one. Hey, we got Fabi. We've got Fabi playing Bogdan, Daniel. And white to play. Let me see. 2 rooks and knight, 2 rooks and knight, 2 3 5, 2 2 4. One extra pawn. Now these guys are isolated. The c4 and the a4, these are isolated pawns, whereas the black pawns are connected, so to speak. Of course, you can add more pressure on the b6 pawn, I guess, but this guy is also under attack. And I guess when rook takes, you could take the other pawn. But this guy is pinned. The knight is pinned. So I don't know. Should you do rook b1? Question is, would you play rook b1 just to move away from the pin? Is there anything else? I mean, you could go knight c3 or not, but I think that's awful, right? So the idea is to try to get the rook out of the pin. Rook d to b1. You attack b6 twice, they're going to take, and then you're going to take with the knight, I suppose. That's one way to look at it. It could be some, it could be some other way. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna scroll up now, go back to Magnus and Max Ludlow and see if they... Yeah, knight c6. Yeah, I did say there's actually two big candidate moves here, knight c6 or knight takes c5. And Max Ludlow decided to go knight c6 first, in between moves, Spitzenzug, and knight c6 is the extra protection for the d4 in case that you want to go knight c5 and you don't want to lose the black pawn on d4. So now black can actually take on c5 and the d4 protected. And when you take on c5, you do hit with tempo both the 3 white rook and the b3 white pawn. And I guess that's what you want to do, I suppose. It's Magnus's turn though, and I think when we refresh the page, let me reload the page. I think you're gonna see half an hour extra on the time control. Not now, but certainly they're gonna get it. They're gonna get this extra half an hour. Hey, Simpson, Rook B1. You say, oh, you probably talked about the other game, right? Rook B1. You talked about the Fabis game with Daniel playing for Romania. Yeah, we talked about that game. Okay, this one here. I think the board is a little bit glitchy. Long delays on chat. Did I do something? I can't remember. Wait a minute. Is the delay on chat? Let me think. Did I do anything today? Well, I messed up a little bit today because I'm having a trial with the Streamlabs for like 7 days. I wanted to see how it goes. And I was very disappointed the fact that the chat on Streamlabs is not overlaying over the, let's say, the chess page. And I have to switch tabs, and this is very, very inconvenient. So I've done one set of settings, then I've left the Streamlabs and went back to Restream Chat because the Restream Chat seems to be very reliable in terms that it stays on a screen regardless of the tabs you're switching or the scenes you're switching around. It doesn't matter. The chat is always there on my screen. I don't need to change the tabs or anything. Whereas the chat on Streamlabs, it just disappears as soon as you press another tab. So that's quite annoying for me, at least. Maybe other folks don't have an issue with that, but I do. And anyway, TikTok can't be unified on the chat, so yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay. So I guess things are back to sort of normal. Now, if you say it's a long delay on the chat, I mean, I did some settings on Streamlabs. I wonder if that influences the restream. I don't know. So now it shows 600.24. It shows on my screen, Simpson. I don't know how many seconds it took. Yeah. So it says 6 and some 24. About 10 seconds. Ooh. Nah, it shouldn't be 10 seconds delay. I'm going to have a look on the settings again. It shouldn't be 10 seconds delay. Nah, I'd like to have it just straight away. Okay, anyway guys, thanks for joining the stream, people. Either platform doesn't matter. We got friends everywhere, from TikTok to Twitch. Okay. So, let me refresh the page. What's going on? Did Magnus move something or not? The last move, knight c6, and I guess black would like to take on c5 next. So what is white gonna play? Do you still go rook h6 here, I wonder? Can we go rook h6? Because you want to have knight f6 and, you know, attacking also the black pawn on h4? Maybe there's an idea. Maybe there's an idea. Anyway, if you do rook h6 and they play knight c5, black plays knight c5, what is white supposed to do? Oh, maybe you should be moving rook d3 where? To d1 or something, but then you're going to be losing the b3 because the knight attacks it. Rook h6, I think it's a good stuff to do right at this moment, Simpson. Yeah, exactly as you say. I think rook h6 might be one thing to do straight away. Yeah, rook h6 makes sense. And when they take on c5, when black captures on c5, you need to move this rook somewhere safe. I'm not sure just yet where. Probably you could go also f3, just defend this guy and put some pressure here. You're going to be playing knight f6 potentially, threatening the 4 king and rook. So, okay, rook h6 is my candidate move for white here, and we'll see if Magnus considers this move, or is he going to play it or not. We're going to find out. I hope you guys don't mind if we go Pragnananda and Peter Leko here. Did he go already? Knight f6. King f6, knight f6. Okay, we're gonna be checking on that one. So Prague did here queen b2. Okay, he potentially puts the queen where the black king is at some point. So rook e7, and now Prague's turn. I don't know. Did they move anything since last time? What about knight g4? Knight g4. I like knight g4. I don't think they moved since I was here last time. So knight g4 makes sense to me. I like it. Invites the bishop and rook, and we got all the guys here active. And it's a bit of an outpost, knight g4, because if there is a pawn you're going to take, they're going to take, but still, you sort of defend it. So I guess knight g4, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's something else. I haven't looked at knight c2 at all. But I want to get my knight close to attacking the black king rather than running away from. You need to go towards your opponent's king, not away from here. So I guess knight g4 might be an idea. We'll see. We'll see. And Arjun here with the black pieces. Sanan for Hungary. That's a check. You can't block, can you? Well, you could take the rook if you want. Rook takes. King takes. Do you know what's the funny thing? The black pawn is on a light square. Therefore, the bishop can't defend it. Should you take the white rook or not? Or should you go for a check? Given the fact that you might be able to get on f2. So after rook b2, you do attack f2 like twice, so to speak. Well, rook can block. Yeah, but then you're going to take king takes and bishop takes on f2. Might be working this way, actually. So rook b2 check, king moves, or let's say rook blocks. If rook blocks, rook takes, king takes, bishop takes f2. I think it works, probably. But let's see, maybe he has a better plan. And Magnus didn't move nothing, or at least it doesn't show me anything that he played. Did they draw? Let me refresh the page. Let me reload this page. This doesn't look very much of a draw from a human point of view, right? I mean, as soon as you play rook h6 and you're threatening knight f6, it's not that much of a draw, I think. It's quite... You have to play super carefully. Hello, Jonathan. Hello, hello. So we try to see what Magnus does this evening. And if we get some of our guys... Hey, he sacked an exchange. Oh, rook takes c6? Ah, because he's going to play knight f6 regardless. So he didn't go... Ah, look at this beautiful move, Simpson. He didn't go rook h6 to play knight f6. He takes first knight with tempo. You must take back. And when you take back, then knight f6. And you're going to get the rook anyway. Nice. Rook takes c6. Very nice. Because this is check. And I took a piece from you. So this is quite forcing then. Black has to take the rook back. And as soon as they take, boom, knight f6. And we're forking king and rook. I think makes sense now. Nice find here. Very nice find by Magnus, of course. He sees them all, right? And of course, 21 minutes, so he did get his half an hour. And I suppose also Max Sudlo. It's going to be updated on a screen. Currently it shows 37, 36 seconds left for black here. Okay. All right. Well, you kind of forced because you're in check. So if you don't take the rook, I really don't know. I don't see what else is available for black. It's not a question if you should take. I mean, you should definitely take. You just lost a piece here. You don't have any other check or winning a tempo otherwise. I mean, king is in check. So blocking the check is meaningless because you just lost a piece. So pawn must take. I don't know why they don't update the time, and probably Maxudlu played already. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to Peter Leko, to Arjun, and to Vidit, and then we coming back at this game. Okay, going back to this. He didn't move nothing. I'm expecting knight g4 to happen, right? No, he did rook d1. Rook d1. Why is that rook d1? He's like waiting or something? I hope that maybe he wants to play knight g4. Why did he play rook d1? Where does he want to go with the rook? What's the stuff? I don't know. Was there someone blocking some other piece's trajectory or something? What's the thing with rook d1? Rook d2, d1. What does that do? Is he playing like a waiting move now? Rook d2 to d1. If you guys make sense of this move, please do tell me. I'm not sure what's that thing doing, apart from just waiting. So I guess it's not a blunder or anything, but it really was no other move to improving. And look at Peter Leko. Rook e7 to e8. Look at this. So Prague played rook d1 and Peter Leko dropped the rook as well. Rook 8. I think this guy's want to draw now. Thank you for following, Jack. So I guess now both of them players want to draw. Because the only thing they did is just put the rook back on the back rank, so to speak. So I can't see what's the big plan for this. There's no big plan. Nothing committal had been played. It's a national team competition, Jack. Okay, unfortunately, we can't cover all the games, so we're gonna stick with the Super Grandmasters from India and Magnus, of course, Norway, because we want to see the number one player of the planet. I think we could say that one. And no one will take massive offense at this. Well, I think we should. Yeah, let me scroll up a little bit. Thanks for the question. Ding Liren is still playing with the Vietnamese. So China versus Vietnam. Ding Liren. I thought it's the same flag. I apologize. Actually, I wasn't understanding. I didn't understand what's going on. But no, it's China versus Vietnam. Okay. Ding is white here. Ding plays with the white pieces. There is a pass pawn here. Leliem has a pass pawn. And the rook protects the black king from any incoming checks. And probably he might be. So those two black pawns seem to be shielding very nicely the black king in terms of checks on the same rank. Oh yeah, India has an incredibly strong team and probably the strongest. I mean, just Gukesh, Prague, and Arjun, and Vidit actually. So I think they might be just the strongest for this occasion. If you want to take the whole of the team together, we might say that the Indian team probably is the strongest. We'll see about the results at the end. Yeah, it's super strong team. It's absolutely crazy strong. So, I think Ding's gonna struggle here with this one because of the pass pawn. And the very viable plan is just to try to push at the right time. At the same time, shielding the black king from incoming checks from the white rook. Other than that, I don't know. Definitely you have to keep playing for a bit longer. And I'm gonna scroll down. We're gonna come back to this one. Was he? Oh, dude. I think I missed the call from Prague. Yeah. I must have missed that call. Okay. No worries. Um Where is Mr. Carlson? Ah, here he is. Yeah. Hey, the game had changed a little bit. Guys, beautiful tactic here. Not very unpredictable. I mean, you know, you take with tempo and then you're going to take back with knight f6. Of course, knight f6. Checks the king and attacks the rook on d7. King goes away on the f8 square. Interestingly, knight takes with check. Tempo again. Rook captures. And what do we got? 336, 325. Right? Let me count again the pawns. 3 plus 3. Okay, 6 white pawns. 2, 2, 1. 5 black pawns. Okay, let's look at the weaknesses here. What have we got? We've got a pawn majority on the king side, ladies and gentlemen. We got a pawn majority. That does mean something. You know why? Because white can decide, for instance, to play some g4 at some point. And black can take en passant, that is true. But then you're going to take back with the knight, let's say, so that you could stop this pawn from moving down. And then you have a pass pawn here. The thing is that black is going to capture the white pawn on e5. So, and after he takes, rook has to move. And when you move the rook, black's going to push the other black pawn. So it's not that over. Whoa, that didn't happen. That was a mouse slip. It's crazy with a mouse slip. The most painful thing is when you do mouse slip during the live game you're playing or the tournament. That's the real painful thing. So guys, if you do rapids, you better put that confirm button, the confirmation, or you will be prone to mouse slips. Yeah, the mouse slip is really frustrating. Yeah, and it happens quite a lot in the bullet. In the bullet chess, it happens every single time. Yeah, the problem is during the rapid. So you know something, Jack? Do the confirm button, and that's it. When you do rapids, because if it's blitz or bullet, you don't have time to do confirm button. You're gonna lose on time. So yeah, if it's 1 minute game, you cannot confirm the move. It's no time. There is no time for this. So guys, tell me what do you think the position looks like here? How So black wants to capture in principle. Hey, he played g3. Uh-huh. He didn't bother with g4. He done g3 just for now. Okay. Can black capture on e5 before doing anything about that pawn? Or you should take first, knight takes, and then knight captures. I guess it's only two ways to go for this. You take, forcing white to take back. I guess you have to take back with the knight, though, now with the rook. No, he didn't. He moved king g8. Why? In order to go away from... Oh, in order to go away from checks. So that he doesn't have to waste the tempo. Now that's some grandmaster thinking. Of course, Max Sudlo is a grandmaster. Playing the best player on the planet. So that's a wise and cool stuff he played. King g8. So rook f3, no more tempo with check. So when you move the rook, I could definitely push this guy down the board or... Yeah. Okay, we've got a few TikTokers and we've got people on Twitch and YouTube. That is good. That is good. Happy to see that. Well, we've got 21 minutes Magnus playing Max Sudlo, so I think it's okay. Whose turn is it? White's turn. The big question, do you push g4? Do you take h4? Because I don't know what else do you do. You push or do you take? If you take, you're going to have double pawns. It's practically like one single pawn. Let's put it this way. If you go g4, you create a pass pawn. But also you got an h4 black pawn. Or maybe you should play king g2. No, he took. Dude, if you came for chess, you're welcome. If you came for other stuff, I'm not sure you got the right podcast, eh? Are you sure you got the right stream? We're doing chess here, Mister. Whatever the username might be. Okay. So he took. You're here for chess. Okay. Then you're welcome if you're here for chess indeed. Mm. Blacks to play. I don't know. I haven't watched the Algerian team. I really I have no idea about the Algerian team. There's very many national teams, and it's so many games that it's impossible to covering them all. So we're just gonna be focusing on the Indian team, and we've got some. I mean, the game that Magnus plays and the Indian players, and maybe Ding Liren, of course, Ding Liren. So we're gonna look at that one. Rook d5 being played. G3 takes h4. Rook now attacks both white pawns together with the knight, so also he puts a bit of pressure on the c5. Mm-hmm. So who's your brother then, playing for the Algerian team? What's your brother's name then over there? So we can perhaps look at his game, if that's true what you're saying. I mean, we don't know that. For sure, rook to d5. Knight f4. Knight f4. Knight f4. Attacks the rook. So Simpson, you say knight f4. That attacks the rook, attacks the pawn on e6 and the rook. Okay. Mm-hmm. Right. I don't know about the Algerian team. I haven't watched those guys. It's way too many games taking place. I think I've advertised about Magnus, but let's have a quick look. Is there any? No, there is no name as you indicated. King to g2. So Magnus chose to centralize the white king. He's gonna get the white king closer. But okay, black's to move now. So if you play king f3, no, that's a disaster because knight takes and forks the king and the rook. You can't do this. So king f3 doesn't work. I guess you can go g3. So you gotta be careful with the forks here. King f3 would be responded with knight e5, and all of a sudden you lose the game. All of a sudden the game is gone. The rook is gone. Now you can't just type M because if you type M, it's gonna show you Maksudlu, for instance. So I think you probably don't know your brother's name. So okay, all right, pal. 2130 for Maksudlu there. King h7. So the black king now wants to go and very frontally challenge those white pawns. Just attack them like this. Yeah, it is very entertaining indeed. Very entertaining. But again, also black has to be careful with those incoming forks and stuff. Both of them, both Magnus and Maxudlu, they have to pay attention to forks coming from the knights. So white king can't go f3 and black king can't go h5 because of the fork on f4, unless you move the black rook first or something. Whose turn is it? So king g2, king h7 being played, and now it's it's Magnus' turn. Magnus has to play. Here's with the white pieces. Simpson's suggestion, my friends, knight f4, which is attacking the rook, and attack c6. Rook takes either e5 or you go c5. Well, yeah. Yeah, we just try to discuss it in between ourselves without software, obviously, because if we put the software, we can just very well not say anything, because I mean, yeah, I think you can add words even if you use the software, but I think it's a better exercise not to use it. You know, like if it was like if you were just watching over the shoulder or something. If you were there and if you're watching the game, and try to figure out for yourself. Right. So knight f4 means that the black rook will either take e or c, right? Am I correct? He didn't do that though. He played rook to d2. That means he moved away from the knight and potentially, I mean, you're not going to get forked or anything if you do rook f3. He played rook d2. Also, if he played rook f3, could have been also loss over tempo with attack on the rook and on the pawn. So you gotta tread very carefully with this stuff. Still maintaining the pressure on the d4. This is just so not easy. This is so not clear. You know, you would say the closer you get to the end game, the clearer it gets. Not all the time. That's not clear at all. It's double pawn here, so let's say those guys are like one pawn, so to speak. Double pawn means like, okay, practically it's one pawn. So it can be dealt with, but you need to keep the king there, and yeah, there is still two pieces here. Black will have to decide which pawn goes is going to be captured. I guess amongst others, rook to d2 means if black takes this guy, the knight is protected, and also the rook moved away from the knight potential attack. So I'm not sure which one's going to be captured, rook e5 or rook c5. I don't know. Dude, don't forget about the food. You know, happened to me too. I burned the pizza sometimes, just thrown a pizza in the oven from a frozen pizza taken from one of those retailers. Yeah, just careful with the oven with the minutes. Don't burn the food, Simpson. Right. So, guys, I think you have nothing against if we go and see what Ding Liren played in the meantime. Ding Liren and Liam. So either c5 or e5, which one's going to get captured and with what? You could take with the rook and then dreaming about some... In the minute you take with the rook, the d4 is no longer defended twice. So I guess white could just take that pawn. But then if the rook plays, pinning you, you could go knight f3, rook takes, knight takes. Maybe there is a way. Yeah. Ding wasn't... he is still in trouble. So if you remember, Jack, we were discussing that actually black is going to make use of those two black pawns as per shielding the king from the rank checks. Now, the only way Ding can check is just frontally. But in the minute you do that, let's say, what do you do with the king? Do you go behind the pawn or in front of the pawn? If okay, you go behind the pawn, then white needs to spend two tempi to kind of checking you again. And in the meantime, maybe you can just push the pawn and then advance with the king supporting it. I think Ding's gonna lose this game. He actually drew until now, round number 6, but I think this one is going to be a loss for Ding. I'm not sure how you can win it. I think you're sort of gonna lose it. And you know something, guys? We're gonna play that little game of ours. I'm going to speculate. I'm going to speculate an eval gauge, and then I'm going to press that button, and I'm going to see what exactly is the estimation as per the software. So now, okay, let me try this. It's a minus because black has a pass pawn unchallenged, and this guy's going to go down. So let's say it's a minus. Let's say it's a minus. Well, now, what kind of minus is? Around -1. It's not gonna be easy. Oh, Jack says -3. Yeah. It's a minus because black is supposed to be winning due to the pass pawn. Now, from the engine's point of view, the game is already won, I guess. And now let's find out the objective truth. Okay. I'm gonna put the eval gauge, and yeah, black is just killing it. Yeah, Ding's gonna lose. -3. Jack, congrats to you, my friend. You've got actually the closest. I was just a -1, but actually it's a massive now -5. It was -3 previously before he actually played Rook B6. But now it's a -5. And if you wonder, my friends, it is entirely due to this guy in the center of the board. This pawn makes all the difference. Yeah, but we as humans, Jack, we did identify that actually black is supposed to be winning, and we didn't have the software. So I did understand that actually this guy means victory for black. Of course, practically, you need to find the right move order to pushing successfully the pawn and promote. But I did know that actually black is supposed to win. Because of that guy in particular. That pawn that I've drawn the red arrows. So I'm afraid Ding is going to lose this game. Because of that pawn. Which matters absolutely. That's it. Yep. That's exactly right, Jack. Exactly right. The only live games we have, at least for this board's 10 or 15. Yeah, very tough year for Ding Liren. I really feel for the guy, you know. I really wanted him to recover fully and to come back in great shape. You know, I really wanted. I wish him all the best. Really, he's such a cool and modest and he's such a benevolent and benign individual, really. I mean, this guy is massively innocent. You know, I really wish him all the best. Hey, Simpson, I wish I was some kind of that big understanding, but I'm afraid not always and not consistent. And if he was, I would probably be among those guys playing. So yeah, maybe next lifetime. But let me tell you something. I'm very much enjoying the convenience of my chair and talking to you guys. Really, I really enjoyed the chat and the drinks, the energy drinks that I just finished 2 cans. I'd rather go for a third one, but I forgot to buy another one. I mean, I placed an order. I'm waiting some delivery guy. I found an offer. Well, I don't want to say which one is it. Heck, it's on TikTok. Okay, I think I'm gonna ask that company if they want to. I'm gonna make a video for those guys, but we'll see. Yeah, I would rather go for another energy drink can, but I ain't got it. I need to go buy or something. Okay, so this, I remember now. I think this is the, oh, come on, these guys want to make a draw. Look at this moves, guys. Look at this sequence here. Rook e8, Rook d2, Rook e7, Rook d1. Come on, these guys aren't serious. That's gonna be a draw. I don't think neither Prague nor Lecco wants to go for something else. The position is a little bit locked, so to speak. Well, if you want to force something, feel free to. But I guess they don't want to risk it. I think they're super happy with the draw now. Maybe. And do you want to know something? The only draw was Gukesh and Richard Report. That was the draw. The others are still fighting. So they've got, Jack, I think they've got 40 moves for like 90 minutes. And then they get like half an hour extra. Oh, they did spend a lot of time. No, that's going to be a draw. It's a threefold repetition, ladies and gents. This is going to be a draw. This is going to be a draw. Okay, let me go quickly to Magnus, and then we're going to go to our generic guys and Vidit, perhaps. Guys, this is the stuff I really want to see how it ends. But you know something? Whose turn is it? Black's turn. Black's going to take this guy right now. Oh no, he didn't. He played b5. Gee. Really? Ah. So if you take, black takes pressure on this guy and on this guy. So, oh my god, he actually going to create a pass pawn and he might be able to remove the b pawn. Actually, they still have to play this one carefully. Excellent performance by Maksudlu, but Magnus still has a pass pawn on the h. Well, he got two, but let's say because it's double pawns, let's say it's a pawn for the sake of practicality. But okay, one pass pawn, let's say. But it's not quite over. Question is, do you really have to take, or do you centralize the king a little bit, or do you play something like rook e4? Can you play rook e4? I know it's not an ambitious move. It's horrible, but I mean, maybe it's not that horrible after all. You hold it all together, and then you're going to play king f3, and if there is any rook c3, you're going to play rook e3. And if rook goes back, you're going to move the king up, protecting and stuff. Maybe after all, maybe rook e4 holds it all together and allows you to play and win. And we're going to play again the game with the estimation, guys. So feel free to type in your honest interpretation of the eval bar right here for this position. I think it's a plus. That means I think white should be able to play for a victory. But what kind of plus? This is the big question. So I think it's a plus due to rook e4. If you do rook e4, I think you save the whole thing. You keep all the pawns protected, king is ready to go to the center, and everything is cool and nice. Well, what kind of plus though? Can I say a plus 1, 1.5 or something? Feel free to type in your Simpson goes plus 2. 1 plus 1 plus 1.5, but it might be more. You might be closer, Simpson. Plus 1 plus 1.5. Okay, let's find out. Jack says plus 1.4. Okay. Well, guys, well. The Almighty says it's 0. Can you believe that? King f3, that makes sense in terms of centralizing. What's with the rook e4? Is it that horrible of a move? It's actually 0-0, guys. Okay, let me try something. I'm gonna play rook e4 and see how horrible this move is. No, the eval gauge says nothing wrong with this rook e4 move. I mean, I wanted to play. Okay, let's make the big revelation here. I apologize for this, but I need to know the truth. Rook e4 is a draw, guys. Rook g4 is a draw. d7, king g3, king f3. There is no difference. How the hell those double pawns don't make a difference? That is the question. King 8. Because king's gonna stop those guys. But still not over. I mean, you know. Is it really that? Okay, for the engine is a draw, but I think for a human you've got pass pawn here. Right? You're gonna move the king. Well, you're gonna play this because if it's rook c3, you're gonna play rook e3, right? Interesting. Yes, Jack. So now I'm gonna turn off the software. I personally look, if Magnus was 100% convinced this is gonna end up a draw, he gonna be. I mean, he would have proposed to the other guy maybe a draw, or I don't know. Maybe Maxudlu already proposed a draw and Magnus declined. But the reason Magnus keeps playing tells me that probably he thinks about along the same lines. I don't know. Maybe Magnus thinks that actually the king is closer to the center with a move like king f4. And maybe the king is one step away from protecting those pawns. And the white rook is quite free, versatile, and it can go places. Look, the fact Magnus keeps playing, that tells me that actually wasn't that much off the track. I mean, he still wants to win. The big question is why rook e4 is not winning, or I don't know that one just clearly yet. Rook e4, pawn takes, and things. Well, king f3 had been played anyway. It's black's turn. It's black's turn here, guys. Okay. Yeah, that's the only plan I had previously. Okay, I'm gonna go now quickly to Peter and Prague. What? Peter Leko waits to. Come on, Prague wants to draw, mate. If Prague wants to draw, Peter should go for a draw. I don't think you should be forcing too much, and especially against Prague. I think just leave it a draw. Thank you for following, Alex. Appreciate, my friend. So they should go for a draw. And what about this one here? Arjun is black, and Sanan plays with the white pieces. What's going on here? Hey, the bishop actually can attack this pawn. You guys notice? Black has a bishop, a dark square black bishop. What does that mean? That this is a weakness that you can go for, potentially. Right? Now, whose turn is it? White's turn, mind you. White's turn to play. That means white can jump in and... No, you can't. This check, for Christ's sake. You can't approach it. But you can keep the king where they are. These aren't done yet. That's not a good move, g5, because you're going to keep the king forever to protect the pawn and the king's going to attack you. Exactly. It just happened. It just happened. Wait a minute, what's on the screen? Losing and stuff. Let me refresh the page. We don't want to lose the engine. Okay. But, you know, rarely. What happened here in the game? Okay, king to the center. King attacks knight. Knight h6 to safety, right? And now I suppose the bishop attacks the knight. Yeah, yeah. Now you have to move again. Oh my god. Was the knight bloody trapped? Yes, the knight was a bit trapped, yes. You go here, you're gonna lose it. If white wants to draw, white better capture this pawn and then that's draw. It's draw. Black tries to protect the pawn. So guys, if white grabs the black pawn, it's a draw. But it's white's turn. You play this. Black's gonna go here. You can't access that black pawn. You're not gonna get it. It's a draw. I think it's a draw. You guys tell me if you think it's not a draw. Let's put the eval gauge in. I think it's a 0-0. Wait. If white can't take the black pawn, can black preserve this pawn? Because if you preserve this pawn and you capture those two black pawns, then black is winning. But how do you capture those pawns? And protecting your pawn. I guess that's the very reason this Super Grandmasters still play. They don't have a very clear answer either. So the struggle is black needs, if black wants to win, they have to preserve the black pawn, because bishop and king versus king cannot win. We all know it's a draw. So if black wants to win, they have to preserve the black pawn. If white wants to win, one of these guys have to make it into a promotion. But I don't think it's going to happen. The bishop's going to sacrifice himself just to stopping one of the pawns, and I think the black king can stop the other pawn. So if black wants, black can just draw by playing something like this, take this, whatever, and then the king is going to stop this guy. The question is, can black win? Actually, this is the question. Can black actually win this game? I would say that white goes c3 or c3 though. Yeah. Exactly. So probably it's a draw. So you go c3, they go c5. What else do you do? What else does white do? You push the pawn, bishop takes you. You move the king back, you make way for the black king in principle, right? So I think it's a draw. Let's find out. So we're talking about Arjun and Sanan here, my friends. Black is winning, for Christ's sake, with a massive crushing advantage. Black is winning. That means following c5 and c3 and b5, you need to make way. You go back, but then bishop goes... No, black is winning because they're going to put the bishop here. They're going to stop the white pawn. It's going to stop the white king from moving closer to these two guys. And white's going to lose a tempo somewhere. Black's going to make white lose a tempo so that the white king gains access. Or maybe bishop attacks whilst he stops the pawn. Yeah. All right, so bishop goes e7. They will capture this. Bishop is going to stop the white pawn from promotion, and the black king will try to shoulder as much as possible. And the black is going to win because of this guy. Oh my God, they drew. Hey guys, what am I reading on a screen? I'm reading on a screen, they agreed on a draw. I mean, you could expect a player like myself to draw, but you don't expect grandmasters to draw, eh? I don't know what the heck is going on. I mean, okay, I was babbling and I was talking about yeah, but yes, but yeah, but no, but yes, but no. But I was expecting maybe a grandmaster should have just pushed a bit more. Oh, let me tell you something. Arjun with 30 minutes he drew? I mean, why did black accept the draw here? If you can keep pushing and fighting. You know, bishop attacks, move the king closer. The bishop gonna keep an eye on the white pawn. Look, guys, this is a mystery. I don't have an answer to this. No. The display was wrong. Sorry, it's a glitch completely due to their servers. It wasn't my fault. I read on the screen draw, but it was a glitch. Oops. It was a glitch, guys. Sorry, man. It was a glitch. Apologize, but that's what I saw on the screen. Oh, Christ. Okay. Apologies. It was a victory for Arjun. Victory for Arjun. Right. Oops. Okay, Magnus didn't give up on this one. So that's what you have. He didn't give up on this one. I think he wants to try move the king, but the king is not going to make it on the 5th rank because of the black rook, right? Now, the black king is also a little bit stuck here because the white rook denies any black kings approaching. They can't even play king h6 and rook g5. You can't play that because there is a pawn here. And I guess Maksudlo doesn't want to go on the 6th rank, because if you go on the 6th rank, you might be inviting the king to come closer and attack your guys, and then you lose. Yeah. Probably the engine would say it's still a draw, but Magnus is not on the opinion. So, and probably he still pushes for the win. Well, they're still playing. That's for sure. Okay, what can black play? Maintain the status quo. Should you push the black pawn to e5, I wonder? No, because white plays king, and then they go behind your pawn. And actually you lose. So guys, if I'm correct, if black pushes e5, black is actually losing. Because king goes e4, the black pawn actually shields your king, and you can go towards the other two guys. And black is losing if they push the pawn. So the only thing black should do, I guess, is king h6 and nothing else. Is king h6 and king h7, right? King h6, king h7. Let's see if I'm correct. I mean, you guys feel free to tell me if I got... Just tell me, what do you think is the best plan for black? I guess you can't force the black pawns through, so the only stuff is just to play king h6, king h7, right? The engine says, yeah, it does say king h6, rook e4, king g7. Yeah, rook e5, rook f5, king h8, and amongst then king h6 too. Okay. Okay, that's the engine says it's a draw, but the guy is still playing. Yeah, the engine says it's a draw. Okay, probably it is, but they still doing the games. And now I'm a bit apprehensive now to go to Liren's game, because I guess he's kind of like losing now because of this particular black pawn. This pawn makes all the difference now, right? Can you actually stop? There is some checks you could try. Actually, guys, I think this endgame is quite instructive for everybody. So let's just try to discuss as much as we can out of this endgame. The black rook now stops the white king from having any contribution upon stopping this guy. So the black rook stops the king. The white king doesn't exist. Okay. How are you going to making this guy queen? Ah, I think I know how. You're going to play something like king b. Well, wait a minute. No, you're going to play rook checking, or you want to build something like this, like a bridge or something, and the king's going to move closer a bit. White's turn. So let's say check. King goes here. Let's say check again. King goes here. Right, where's the next check? Back. Then rook plays here. And when you check, rook's going to move here. Yeah, I guess that's one way to look at this. But I think it's really instructive. But no, they just gave up already. So that's it. Hey, what's going on the screen? Oh, okay, I thought it's froze. Oh, man. Right, so if there was rook b8, exactly as I said, was king c3. So let's just play this for a while. King c2. If there is a check, you're going to go d2, right? Yeah, you can. Or you can go king d1, also in front of the pawn not getting checked. If rook goes back, you're going to play check and this? Yeah, you can. You can do rook e2 and then move over to blocking against the checks. Or moving including the pawn. Wow. check, but then you're going to play c2. And if there's check again, king c1. If there's check again, king b2. And you're stopping those squares. And this guy is unstoppable. You either lose the rook or I'm going to promote. Nice one. You either lose the rook or I'm going to promote. So Ding didn't continue beyond this point. Okay, the games we're going to be looking at now, covering this stuff, is Vidit, Benjamin, Magnus, and Maxudlo, and Amin and Christiansen. Sebastian. Okay. This one here. Knight and bishop, 9 knights, 3-3. Whose turn is it? White's turn. I guess if the white king makes it first to attack this guy or this guy, white is winning. 5 minutes. 5 minutes for Vidit. Vidit now fights for his country. So he wants to play the best stuff. What do you play here? You play this, the pawn is gonna go, takes and takes. Well, you march on with the king, right? And also you keep an eye on the h6. I don't think that's bad. So the white king is very well positioned. The white king can either veer to the left or to the right. Let's go and see what Magnus played. Good question, Alex. Good question. King h6. Exactly what I said I would play if I were black there. Magnus's turn. I don't know. The engine says it's an absolute draw. Magnus hasn't moved yet. Maxudlu played, but not Magnus. He didn't move yet. King goes in the center, hoping maybe he's gonna get access, but you're not gonna make it past the rook, though. Does he want to play this and this? Or, I mean, maybe this, threatening this? So he doesn't give up. The engine said it's a dead draw, and Magnus still waits for Maxudlu to make a mistake. Check. Now you have to move king. Left or right? I don't know. Probably left. Do you know why? Maybe you want to play still rook e4. So I think king c4. Yes, Alex, they have to keep the rook on the 5th rank because in the minute they allow king, then the game's over. So I guess king c4 because white may want to play rook e4. Yes, king c4. We got this one correct, finally. So now probably rook's going to go left or right, back where they were. Protecting, not allowing rook e4. Nicely played by Maxudlo. Very nice played. The engine says it's a dead draw, Jack. So this move that was played lastly, it's great because stops rook e4. Rook e4 was the only plan for white to actually try something. But rook e5 stops you. So how are you going to make progress here? I mean, you probably can go for some... I mean, if you want to force things, that one doesn't look good. You know why? Because check and I start taking your guys. So you can't play rook g8. Yeah, it's pretty much kind of like stuck. I think they want to draw any second now. If Magnus doesn't want to push through, if he doesn't want to force no more, I think he's going to propose a draw and Maxudlu probably will be accepting. And drawing Magnus is an achievement anyway. Sorry, I don't see how you can make progress here. Rook g8 is a disaster because rook e4. So the only stuff you could do is just king d4, king c4, or moving rook, king f4, rook f4, rook g4, or something like that. Yeah, you can't make it past the rook with the king, and the black king also can't do too much. Exactly. Yeah, you could say if it helps you to understand better, why not? You can use that. Yeah, you can't make it past them. That's it. Now that's a draw. Let me have a look at Vidit because this one actually is quite cool. Knight to e7 attacking the bishop. Oh, well, the bishop was on e. He went G. Knight attack. Attacks the bishop. Well, the problem is this guy is kind of hanging. Can I take the pawn first? Can I take knight h6? And black knight takes and pawn takes. And I think whilst the black king will be busy with stopping that pawn or something, I think white king can just marching and going for those guys. So now do you actually take the... Oh, wait a minute. I think actually you could take the black knight on e8 and then you take the pawn. So let's do this again. Bishop takes e8. Forces black king to capture. And then you're going to take this pawn. And then all you need to do is rush with the king to the other guys. Nah, I don't want to. It's just a common brand. Well, I don't know what I mean even means. They've got some caffeine in it, and that's it. Some caffeine, some vitamin B's, and some taurine, and I don't know. Yeah, I would actually go with two more right now. Yeah. Yeah, so that's how I think I would play with white here. Let's see the truth now. Truth is bishop e8. Yay! And knight h6 works as well. So, okay, the first line of the engine is based on bishop takes, and probably you guys thought similarly. Yes. So now I guess you go knight h6, and that's how you actually win. Yeah, so he didn't even bother grabbing this guy, because now the king marches to capturing those pawns, and you can't defend them. So if the black knight stays where they are, you're gonna go c7. If the king moves away, you're definitely gonna go c7. If the king plays d8, I guess then you can take h6, and then you're gonna jump back on g4 and push this guy. So I think black's gonna resign. Let me think. You could take or you could push. You could push, and then all you need to do is just take this guy on a6 at some point via this c7, b6. Yeah, I think you can push the pawn, or you could take. I think they're both winning. I think they're both winning. You take or you push, you should be winning. You could take, black pawn takes, and then you're going to play king c5. How is black going to defend b5? Well, they can't. That's it. So I guess, yeah, they should take b5 now. a4 takes b5, ab, king c, and black resigns. Takes, king c5. And there's nothing for black to do. h6 gonna fall. And if you keep the knight to defend, again, you will not be able to stop this pawn from advancing. The b pawn, that is. So game over here, and Vidit is winning for himself and for his country. And Erigaisi also scored today against Sanan. Peter Prague drew. And Gukesh Richer Report drew as well. That probably was a very, very cool game. And there you go. Vidit took on b5. He did spend a little bit of time just to making sure. Oh, I gotta answer that text. Just to make it. Yeah. And now things are gonna fall. Niente. Let me. Oh my god. Yeah, me too. Me too. Nothing yet. I stream now. We can grab something from Sainsbury. Oh, I shouldn't have said Sainsbury. Oh, well, that's the only retailer close to me. Gee, if it's not one, it's the other, right? and those WhatsApp, I have to get off the notification. And I will do a refund. This, and I will refund. And I will refund. There is also uncooked. Uncooked. I apologize. This is not just wise, but hey, Wesley, how's it going, my friend? So, has Black resigned? That is Benjamin, not Benjamin Bok, though. Another Benjamin. Another Benjamin. Benjamin Gledura. How do you pronounce it? I don't know. I need to put the lights on, right? It's getting dark now. It's 7 p.m. It's not that dark, but I think I should put the lights on. Alrighty. So, guys, where were we? Oh, yeah, he resigned. All right, guys. So the reason for which Black resigned here, I'm sorry to hear that, Wesley. Life can be incredibly challenging at some point. And for others, it's a bit more often than it should be. Hello, David and Wesley. Yeah, you will get challenged during this lifetime. We all getting challenged. Some of us will get more challenged than the others. That's also true. That's also true. So, King will be attacking b5. Knight's gonna make space for the h-pawn going forward, and Black is losing because of these ideas. And now the only game happening is Magnus and Maxudlo. He didn't give up yet. You see, some folks might be getting annoyed at some point, because they say, hey, come on, this is a draw. Why do you... sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not that happy, Wesley. Sometimes I am, others I'm not. Like any other average mortal on the planet. But I know some other people suffer more than myself, so that's why I try to keep myself balanced. And yeah, sometimes chess could be trash. That's what Bobby Fischer said, Yadav, that chess is trash, right? So I guess you having the same opinion as Bobby Fischer. But you know something, I love it. But you're very much entitled to think chess is trash. That's fine. But I do enjoy it. So, yeah. I guess to each his own. Yeah, I love chess very much. And it's awesome. My favorite. Yeah. So, Magnus persists, guys. I don't know what kind of progress you could do. Unless you want to make Maxudlo blunder. Or if you think he's too overstressed or something. But how does White making progress here? King g4. Do you know what happens that actually I'm seeing chess as quite creative and beautiful in its own. I mean, it serves the same purpose as music. So let's put it this way. Music doesn't build a building or something. Music is just for whatever you may call an aesthetical perception or spirit or whatever noun you want to use. So chess serves the same function as Baroque music. I mean, you play it for itself. It's for its own sake. Yeah, exactly. Or like art. Spot on, David. Exactly. Or I mean, like a painting or, I don't know, beautiful impressionist painting or something. What purpose do they serve? There's no practicality, It's just pure art for the sake of the art. So I guess the same goes for chess and music. Why do you listen to the Baroque music or your favorite music? It serves no practicality. I'm not talking about the music in the clubs and that sometimes, yeah, I don't think I like it very much. The clubbing and stuff. I think it's nonsense, but it's not my thing. So yeah, music, art, chess, pretty much same thing. I see them along the same lines. It may not have a very practical purpose, although some may argue that actually children playing chess have some improvement in their maths and stuff like that. It builds up some resilience. You know, you having a loss, you're not supposed to uh, getting completely frozen due to the failure, so to speak. So builds up some resilience. It fortifies the ego. Indeed, it can become quite malignant at some point. But if you keep it in check, the ego, there you go. Chess keeps the ego in check. I don't know. You have to be scrutinizing yourself quite often. To keep the ego in check, you have to scrutinize oneself, because otherwise it takes over. And yeah, and then you're gonna be acting like Hans Niemann, eh? Yeah, I like that idea. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Then becomes pretty much nonsensical and absurd, right? In the absence of music, in the absence of the arts, nothing kind of like makes sense anymore, right? Would you like to live that kind of life without enjoying colors or, let's say, music or sounds? Yeah. Oh, it's a point for debate, though. It is an obsession for sure, but I'm not bothered by that much by it. I mean, my wife is bothered by my obsession with chess, but I'm not. I mean, for me, it's normal to be obsessed with chess. But some other folks close to me may not share this opinion, But hey, what can I do? Everyone has his obsession. But I think chess is not that of a destructive obsession. I mean, you know, I'm enjoying chess, but hell, I think I'm doing chess hours and hours and hours every single day, either teaching or studying or streaming chess. I think I'm doing chess a lot. Hello, Azuz, Lazuz. You might be able to beat Magnus one day. You never know. Or maybe next lifetime, if there is such a thing. Or you can imagine you can beat him. Or maybe you will. It's good to be optimistic, I guess. Okay. Now, can someone tell me what exactly Magnus cooking here? What does he want to do to win? How exactly you gonna get your entry? Where is the entry point here? What exactly you want to do? King can't move. I mean, you can go to the f4 square or something, and rook's gonna come down again. What exactly is the plan? What? Okay, this, and then you go the king in between the two doubled. It's good to be resilient. It's good to be annoying to your opponent. I think so. I think you may go along this idea. Thank you, Aziz. I think you had very good thought. Hell, I think Magnus gonna try this. Of course he is. So guys, let's just put it this way. h5 in order to get king to h4. Rook f4 would check the king. Then the king gets in front of your king. Or maybe the king plays e5. And because it's so time consuming, Magnus wants to push and... Well, congrats. That means you can have a lot of very good revelations that you might be able to sharing with our virtual friends. Azuz lazuz. Yeah. h5, king h4. If rook f4 and king e5, what do you play next? Are you going to go f7, I guess? Or you're gonna go on to f1? It's quite time consuming now. I think I'm gonna put the lights on. What does the bot say? You received 100 messages. Yoo-hoo, what does that mean? Well, it means I had a few friends online. That's what it means. Okay. Well, that makes sense. So the idea with the rook c4, rook c4, rook c4 to attacking via c5 probably, right? And that forces the black rook to run to defend, and then you push the pawn. And then the king needs to make sure that they will be stopping. And then maybe he thinks that the white king, okay, he went f4 actually, rather than c. He checks the king. And now the big question is, guys, do you go g6 or do you go e5 and why? He went g6. He wants to make sure that at least the king is close to stopping this guy, right? That's the reason, I guess. So now if rook e4, he gonna go back king f6, I think. And maybe then Magnus would like to try c4 and c5. And rook needs to run. And maybe, I don't know. Actually, if you got the rook c here, so let's just put it this way. Let's imagine the white rook were to make it on c5, right? Attacking, keeping the black rook to defend. He goes back on e4. So king f6, right? King f6. So if Magnus wants to continue, he needs to go probably c4, c5, rook 8, and then push the pawn because the rook protects it against the black king. Is Magnus going to do rook c4 or is he going to repeat the whole stuff? He pushed h5, guys. He pushed h5. He doesn't give up, this boy, eh? h5. I guess if it's a check, you're going to go... or maybe you're going to play... Maybe you're going to play king f4 or something. Yeah, so let's say to all of our friends that this is a live game and I put no software on or evaluation gauge because I think this is the best way to watch a very much a live game. Well, he needs to stop the pawn and actually I think the black king is slightly overworked now because the black king has to keep an eye on this pawn and also they need to make sure that this guy is also reachable, so to speak. Rook checks. So you need to decide you go h4, which means complete cut off the white king. Where does the white king go and why? h5 changes the game, or at least tries to play for the win. I understand that. The question is, where do you get the king? Do you go f or do you go h? I think this means a lot if you decide to go either way. Yeah, if you go h4, the king is going to be stranded there forever. I agree. Yeah, if it's h4, the king is not going to make it out. Probably. Probably. Maybe. You might be able to push, though. And then maybe getting king h5 right behind the pawn, but I don't know. It's just time consuming. And Magnus still takes his time. He doesn't move yet. 2 minutes, 40 seconds. And there is no other half an hour to be obtained. It's what is. It is what is. So guys, feel free now to type in if it's f4 or h4. Which one does give white the best play, the best options? Oh my days, is it true, Anirudh? Thanks for the tip. Oh my god, Magnus went king f. Okay, king on the f means that the king is not blocked on the h file. So now Magnus can even play some opposition thing. He had an outside pass pawn. Well, he has two outside pass pawns, but they are doubled. So let's see how he capitalizes on this. What's black supposed to play, by the way? Anirudh, let's put it this way. The engine says it's a draw since like times immemorial. So if you're talking about the Lee Chess or chess.com, Rapid is like 2200 up and down. The Blitz is 2000 up and down. And if you're talking about the FIDE ELO rated, the Rapid 2 years ago was 1752. So that's the answer, my friend Soren. So rook to g5. What does that do? Attacks this pawn. Keeps an eye on this. On the 5th rank, rook defends the pawn. That means you might be able to play the king on the 4th rank, right? And rook not just defends, rook is actually behind the pawn, ready to advance. So look how Magnus doesn't give up. You know, Jack, just you need to enjoy being stuck. First thing first, you need to enjoy so much being stuck that you're no longer stressed to that. So enjoy the stuckness. That's the first step. And then add one more ingredient to the preparation. That could be identifying the causes for the loss. Is it the opening? Is it middle game? Is it end game? Is it all of them? And try to work out. Analyze the game, see exactly where do you do the blunders and why do you lose. For instance, I lose in the bullet or blitz because the tactics, and I don't bother with that one very much. If I'm like 2200 rapid, I'm relatively happy and I'm enjoying what I'm playing, and I'm deepening the opening lines and try to play more and more puzzles and faster puzzle rush so that I can increase my accuracy for the tactics. So that's what I do, and I'm absolutely enjoying it. I don't have a problem with that. If I'll go beyond, fine. If not, fine too. I'm still enjoying watching Magnus Carlsen, so, and the rest of the guys. So it's absolutely fine. But I understand what you're saying. I don't want to disparage your frustration or something like that, Jack. No. I'm just saying that it's perfectly okay. It's fine. So King G7 now. If King F, I guess he's gonna go back. Actually, oh man, that's just exactly, he pushes the pawn. And he didn't just push the pawn, he pushed the pawn with tempo. This is check. King blocks now. Now King F4. And Magnus actually gonna make it his king to go towards attacking this guy, right? Somehow. So if he plays king to... Oh, yeah, but bullet is just super fun. Look, I'm playing a lot of bullet when I'm commuting. So let's say I have a club I need to go to in the afternoon or after school, right? I'm going to a club. And let's say I'm traveling 90 minutes from West London to East London, let's just say. So, of course, I'm going to do on the tube if I got a good internet connection. And normally it is when it's overground. When it's underground, it's complicated. But if I go overground, then of course I'm doing blitz or bullet. Yeah, probably half the games I'm losing them. I'm losing either getting flagged or the tactics and things. So look at this stuff Magnus played now. I thought that actually he was meant to go king f4 or something, but no way. He went rook e4, which I kind of understand. He wants to get this guy, right? Oh yeah, that's the main reason we actually lose it, the bullet, because you don't have time. Yeah, so you try to be also faster and more accurate than the other guy, which is easier said than done. Okay, guys, I'm going to put the lights on. I mean, it's so dark here in the room. I mean, I enjoy darkness anyway. I mean, like, hello, darkness, my old friend. Said the song. You guys know Simon and Garfunkel, right? Probably Simpson knows of them. Simpson, I'm sure you know. You're an old rocker. You know Simon and Garfunkel. And you also know The Graduate with Dustin Hoffman and Anne Bancroft. That's a classic. That's a classic, guys. You should see The Graduate with Dustin Hoffman and Anne Bancroft. It's a good view. It's educational. I mean, if you're over 18. Oh yeah. Okay, forget about the recommendation. You gotta be over 18 to watch The Graduate. If you're not, don't watch it. Okay, I apologize. I shouldn't have said that. So yeah, graduate only if you, yeah, Mrs. Robinson. Yes. Yes, David, it's Mrs. Robinson. Mrs. Robinson, Jesus loves you more than you will know. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh my days, what a film. Ah, crazy times. Okay, right. Rook h5. Whose turn is it? Magnus's turn. What is it doing? Okay. Rook e4. Rook takes h5. Sorry, there's just some weirdness. Rook e4. Rook h5. Why didn't he take rook e6, by the way? Azuz, if you're around here, my friend, why didn't he take? Because actually he would have lost this, and then he would have lost the other one too. No, wait. Ah, a lot of chess, and I'm listening on Audible a lot, or YouTube, a lot of non-duality lectures, classes. See like see Ajay Shanti, see Eckhart Tolle, see Rupert Spira. I don't know if you into this kind of talks, but yeah, I do enjoy those Audible courses and history courses on Audible too. You could get some very good offers every now and then on Audible, and you can buy your favorite books or your favorite authors. And I'm doing streaming now. I've been streaming this like for almost 2 hours. Now my wife is gonna come home. She's gonna be upset, you see. But I will pretend it's okay. That's fine. So I'm curious to see how Magnus does this. Wait a minute. Rook h7, rook e4. Why didn't he take on e6? Oh, but I think we clarified. Rook takes check, you move, and then you're gonna lose that one too. Uh-huh. So he played king to g4, protecting this h3. Yeah, you're gonna lose h6, and that means you're gonna go towards a draw. White is going to compensate with taking this pawn. Still a draw, but Magnus doesn't give up. Hey, I'm over ED. Yeah, rook e6, rook h6, rook h6, king a6, king g4. Thank you for the answer, Azos. Yeah, guys, don't forget to subscribe on the YouTube so we can stay in touch when I go on live again tomorrow. I hope, guys, I'm gonna meet you again. Or if you came via TikTok, do follow me on TikTok as well. Oi, where's the board? What did I do? Oh man, I hope I didn't. Okay, I think it's going on quite nicely. Okay, right. So he's boiling Maksudlu. Maksudlu wants to grab a sandwich and be done with this, and Magnus just doesn't let this happen. He wants to tire him down. He wants to make him blunder. I wonder if someone is if Maksudlu suggested a draw or something. I don't know that. Hey, Tax Tuxedo. Yeah, there could be. You know, Magnus said, I think I'm making a quote now. I hope I'm not making it up. No, it's a quotation from Magnus. I think he said, I don't think that my opponent should win because he played a beautiful game. So he doesn't care about the so-called etiquette or something like that. I mean, what he said is that he actually is interested in winning. So he just wants to win, even if the game probably looks like a draw. He tries to squeeze every single possibility out of the position. Is rook h5 winning? Azuz says. It's black's turn though. Well, it's not white, it's black's turn to play. So rook g6. Now king is in check. Do you block? Do you move? And if you move, you go f4 or do you go h4? Which way do you go? King is in check now. If you block, doesn't mean black takes. They could just very well play king g7. So, and the white king is in check now. So you got to decide. You block or you move away. And if you move, which way do you go? Do you go f or do you go h? If you block with the rook g7, you take, black king takes. Block with the rook, okay? Block with the rook, then king g7, I guess. You can't take after the block. If you block, rook takes. No, they don't have to take. They may just very well play rook f6 or rook h6. They don't mean to take. I don't think they should take. So let's say you block with the rook, right? What would you do? You would probably play rook h6. You won't be trading. You don't trade to let the white king get access to f6 square, which is incredibly important, and taking all those squares. That's a disaster. So white rook blocks, black rook doesn't, mustn't take, because if you take, you're losing. Then the white king has all those squares. Well, you're in check for, for a starter. White king is in check. You have to move out of check or to block. Block makes sense, but then black has to play rook, f6 or h6. You don't trade, right? Or do you centralize the king? I don't know. It is so time consuming. Black shouldn't trade if white rook blocks. That's how I feel about a position. So rook g5 and then move the rook somewhere. The black rook. You refuse the trade because it doesn't serve you. You being with the black pieces. If black plays rook f6, then hangs a5 though. True. True. True, true, true. So rook g5, king g7 then? Or you go... No, you can't go h6 because you're losing a5, right? Oh, man. So rook g5, king g, and both rooks are pinned, so to speak. It is very time-consuming. Both of them are sort of tired. This is move number 75. I have no doubt that Max Sudlu in normal conditions would find everything to be played. But this is already under 2 minutes. They both tired, a little bit stressed now. And you play for your country and the whole world is looking at you. And, you want to perform the best possible. But so difficult. So rook g. And look, it's Magnus's turn, and he didn't move nothing. Oh, he moved now king f4. My God. Rook f6, check. King g3, check. King h2. No, wait a minute. Did I actually play that? Whoa, whoa. Yes, they did. Okay, so I'm updating all the moves now. I apologize, guys. I was a little bit static because I was trying to figure out something. Rook a3. You're in check. You have to move. Then check again. Where do you go? If you part ways, then they're going to take this pawn and the rook is hanging. Okay, I think it's still drawn. It's still a draw, right? Says the almighty engine. So this one should be a draw again because the black rook is going to check you forever. Or if you move away from protecting the white pawn, the rook takes and then your rook is en prise. So now it's going to be a perpetual check. I think they're going to draw now. I mean, like any second now, I think they're gonna draw. Yeah, but is check now, Azuz? Yeah, rook e5 sounds great, but the king is still in check now. King f4, no more check. And now let's see what he plays. Yeah, of course check. Of course check. Again, if you play king e5, black rook's gonna take on h4, and then you kind of lose probably. I don't know. Oh my god, he gave that pawn. Man, he doesn't give up. Okay, rook takes, right? And then you're gonna have to play the rook. There you go. Now you play rook e5. What do you play, by the way? Really, what do you play? Rook e5 and the other guy plays rook a4. So that's about. Okay, rook e5, exactly. Ah, we all share the same consciousness, rather. Some say. There is only one consciousness that takes itself to being separate and 8 billion consciousnesses. Some say it's just one consciousness. Right, so king goes g7. He gave up on this guy, but then after this, you can't defend this. Although you push, they go behind. Well, guys, do you see me or I'm in complete darkness? I have to put the lights on. Okay, hold on a sec, fellas. I know it's getting darker before the dawns, but wait a sec. All right. So what did happen? Okay, now. There we are. Okay. What did the guys do? King g7. Oh man, Magnus still pushes it. What do you do here? You draw, right? So, if you capture the pawn on e6, is black gonna play rook a4? But then white pushes. But then the king attacks. And then you go here. Then the king gets closer. So you want to play a6. Uh-huh. That looks good. I mean, a6, rook a4, rook captures and rook goes here. And you try to just play because of that particular pawn. If I understand this, your thoughts correctly. Right, Azus? It is winnable, probably. Well, if you have this extra pawn and you capture the black pawn, probably you would just keep pushing those pieces. Yes, exactly as Azus said, a6, it makes sense. It makes sense. Rook attacks and then you're going to take and protect the pawn. Maybe if you're lucky, then you can play some in between check and then push one more rank. a6 he moved, indeed, Tuxedo. a6 being played, my friends, and Maxudlu now, 2 minutes 50 sec, or less, so to say. Yeah, this is just very much live, indeed. So a6 being played, as Azus suggested, and rightfully, makes sense. Now black goes rook a4. Do you have a choice? Yeah, you do. You could go this way. Can you play king f6 with black here? King f6 protecting the pawn, attacking the white rook. Rook's gonna go here, and then you're gonna go with the rook where? h8 in order to put it here? I don't know. It's just time consuming. And if it was that clear, they would have drawn ages ago. But it's not. And they keep playing. I mean, f7. Then I'm playing the pawn, the what? a7. Okay, but then can I go rook a4 and stop it? Wait a minute. King f6. a7. Rook a4. Rook a6. What? Are you sure? King f6. Well, Maksudlu hasn't moved. I mean, he calculates exactly probably along this line, something. No, I don't take the rook. I want to stop the pawn, right? So king f6, a7, a rook here. What? King f6, a7, rook a4. But they didn't go this way. They went rook a4, just to making sure. Rook takes now, and king f7. I did kind of say that, and I also said that rook's gonna try to do a check so that you can push the pawn one more time. So he went rook h6. Okay. And probably now the plan would be try to get with the king to attack the rook somehow. And also the rook has to stay on the a file because this guy's going to go one more time. Actually, he's really persistent. Okay, the only ticket for whites to dream about winning is it relies exclusively on the pawn on the a file. That is why Magnus keeps playing. He probably wants to do this kind of rook b6, rook b7, check, and get to push the pawn one more time. Let's see how it happens. Oh boy, he really doesn't give up. Okay, what else than rook b6? Nothing. Rook b6, right? Let me refresh the page. Oh, he didn't move. Apologize. Yeah. A rook b6, Azuz. I agree with you. There you go. Rook b6. Yeah. I mean, it's not like too many other options, right? Rook was under attack anyway, and you don't want to move away. Now you could do a check and push this guy one more time. So rook b6 check. King's gonna go. Is gonna go, and you're gonna push the. Okay, he moves the king closer though. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay. Black king tries desperately to get in closer. Yes, yes, guys, he's really, really persistent, this guy. He's really, really not giving up. His grinding is exceptional. But no, but no, but no. But no, but yes, but no, but yes. And now he didn't continue. Okay, let's try something. For the sake of continuing, check. King, say, getting closer to the things. But that's how you lose, my God. Oh, you've got to be king d8. King d8. Wait a second. You tell me if you do king d8, you lose. If you do king e8, you lose. If you don't want to lose, you got to go on the 6th rank. Do you think that's very, 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 very obvious? So if you go d8, you lose. If you go d6, you don't lose. Because you attacked the rook. Because if you went on the back rank, you would have been checked. And then this guy queen. It is, Jack. Yes. Yes, Tuxedo, thank you very much. That is indeed correct. Well, they know that very well. Yes. Thank you very much. What is that? Oh my God. All right. Yes, indeed, guys. Jack, yeah. If king go, but yeah, if the king goes on a back rank, after a7, there is rook b8 check, my friends. That is correct. And you kind of lose. If you go on the 6th rank, you're able to attack the rook, the white rook, and you're not getting checked, so to speak. And the black rook is also on the A file. So you go D, and if pawn goes forwards, king attacks the rook and there is no check. Whereas if you were on C8, rook would have checked. Brilliant endgame. Brilliant endgame study for all of our friends and for myself. Again, it's absolutely gorgeous. And now you can't push because rook takes and it doesn't mean anything. So, and if rook goes, say, somewhere here, king b6 attacks this and rook, and you've got two attackers, and you either do perpetually check, 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 or you just agree on a draw. Guys, that was phenomenal. That was so instructive. Let me just go back and take a screenshot for this. So if you go D or, well, if you go D, you lose. And if you don't want to lose, you got to go in the 6th rank and attack in this fashion. This is phenomenal. Beautiful. You go here, you got a7. You go here, you got a problem with the check. And now queen is coming. Great. Absolutely great. This is the critical moment. Yeah, this is the critical moment. You go d8, lose. You go d6, you stay in the game. And you go have your sandwich and... awesome, guys, and you are actually awesome people. Thank you, Jack, Tuxedo, Simpson, Azuz Lazuz. Thank you very much, my friends. You've been incredibly insightful. Thank you for your presence. And hopefully, guys, I'm going to meet you up again tomorrow. And we're going to do maybe a friendly tournament or something. You guys are really, really good at this. Take care of yourselves and see you guys tomorrow.